What is up, everybody? Been a while since Modded by P myself has made a video. Mainly my camera batteries were kind of shoddy, so it was hard to keep filming stuff and have enough battery life. So I recently bought some new batteries and I decided to take another whack at this whole YouTube thing again. So decided to start off with something that a lot of people have been asking about: a truck. So for those of you who do not know, this is my 2005 Chevy Silverado. It's been a good truck, considering that I only paid $300 for it. So it's pretty much stock, other than the fact that it has a DJM lowering kit. It's started off as a 4.6 kit, but then I put another 2-inch lowering shackles in the rear, so it made it a 4.8. The rear kind of sits a little lower than the front, but she sits pretty good. New wheels, obviously, if you haven't seen. Before I had the 20-inch OEM SS wheels. These are obviously Rep Snowflake 22s, a little bit bigger, and I think they fit the truck pretty well. So as you can tell from the title of the video, this thing was actually wrecked not too long ago. A couple months back, had some kid literally try to pass me on the right hand side as I was making a right hand turn on a 1-lane road. Now, to his, benefit, although there's not much, I went a slightly left because it's a sharp right turn, you know what I mean? But I didn't go enough left for him to squeeze by on the right, which he thought he could make it, and he ended up actually clipping the right front of the whole truck. So after a new fender, and a new bumper cover, and new headlights, and I still have a slight little dent right here in the hood that I still have to work out a little bit more, but she's back together. I know a lot of people probably want some updates on the actual lowering kit, like how does it ride, all that. I know somebody mentioned in one of the comments too that classic Florida fashion, no alignment. I'm still yet to this day to take this thing to get it properly aligned, but I've kind of just been eyeballing it here and there. I spent some good time in my dad's garage actually kind of getting a good straight eyeballing alignment, so it's been riding pretty good ever since. So I haven't really messed with it. What do I think about the DJM kit? Well, I've had it for about 2 years, maybe 2.5 now, I don't know, who's counting? But it's been pretty good to me. The shocks, I will say, are not the greatest, although user error, I actually had the rear shocks installed upside down and drove all the way from Tallahassee to Jacksonville and back on the interstate over some crazy construction bumps. And I really didn't realize it until my buddy Sean, who has the exact same truck and had the exact same lowering kit at the time, which he's now taken back off and kind of gone back to stock, I think. But anywho, he had the same exact thing with some different shocks, but one day I was just jumping on the back of his tailgate, just jumping up and down, and I noticed that his was super stiff and mine was like loosey-goosey bouncy. So that's when we realized something was wrong, and I found out that I actually had the shocks flipped upside down like a dumbass. What can you do? You live and you learn. So I might need to replace some shocks, in another word. But other than that, the ball joints, upper and lower, the rubber that's around all of them is gone. I think it's my fault. I think I used, once again, user error. I think I used some sort of grease that was not compatible with the rubber on the joints. I didn't actually ever ask DJM what they preferred to be used in their shit. I kind of just went with the marine grade thing, and I think that was what fucked me. I heard somebody talking about it at one point, and that's the only reason why I went that route. But once again, you live and you learn. The ball joints are pretty cheap, and the way that DJM has the setup, since I did buy the Plus kit, which comes with the upper and lower control arms in the front, they come with their own ball joints, so they're only like 20-30 bucks a piece. So I think I'm just gonna get another set of ball joints and just replace them and put some proper grease in them. Now I did go with the DJM, kind of like the lowest kit that they have. One of the issues that I've kind of had continually is that this wheel, for whatever reason, the rear driver's wheel, you can see the tires tucking. It's way lower than anything else. At this point, I'm kind of wondering if my actual leaf springs have an issue. I know that the Chevys always have the driver's side kind of like sag issue, and both of my front coil springs are actually brand new springs, so I don't think that's the issue. Although I have seen a Moog replacement spring for this side that they actually offer that's not only 1 inch longer, but I think it's actually a little stiffer. I don't know, it might just be longer, I'm not sure, don't quote me on that. But long story short, they have a different solving thing for that, and if you kind of do lift up on this wheel, you can kind of see the back. I don't know if I can catch it on camera. Yeah, probably not, can't catch it on camera, but if you lift it, you can kind of see it levels a little bit. But something is still wrong here, because when I jack up the rear of the truck and the wheels in the back get off the ground finally, like one side, kind of like this side I believe, stays sucked up in the truck. It never really like comes down, and I think something's going on with the leaf springs. They're just the original leaf springs. It's the one part of the suspension I didn't replace on this truck. So I think I'm just gonna end up ripping the bed off again, because it's the easiest way to take the leaf springs off and deal with all that crap in there, and actually just replacing their leaf springs. Another huge problem that I have is the carrier bearing or center support bearing, whatever the hell you want to call it, in the middle there is gone. My drive shaft is in there flopping around. So I did go ahead and purchase DJM's kind of adjustable bracket so you can set the working angle of your drive shaft, but I just haven't got around to getting under there and actually putting it in. It's not exactly as easy as just unbolting the old one and putting a new one in, because you still do need a new center support bearing, number one, and they make a couple different kinds depending on what size truck you have, regular cab, you know, fucking quad cab, whatever. They got different drive shaft lengths, so they have different carrier bearings or something. I don't know, the store had 3 different types. So it was best, like in my head, just to take the one that I have off and bring it to the store and make sure that I get the right one to replace it with. And also with the DJM kit, you have to re-drill some holes for some bolts somewhere. So yeah, I've kind of just been slacking on that, but it's getting worse, so I think I need to address that soon. I wanted to go ahead and show you guys my messy ass workbench. No, actually here's the DJM, the thing I was talking about. Here's the bracket itself, and here's the hardware that it comes with. Some hardware to make it all happen, I guess, but I haven't even looked at how any of this works yet, so it's just sitting there for now. My interior is one of the cleanest things in this truck, you know. It's got a couple like things just because it's cloth, a couple stains and stuff, and the dash is definitely cracked and peeling some paint and some spots. But other than that, you know, my steering wheel, could use a new steering wheel. I'm just gonna pick apart all the flaws in here, I guess. But no, it's other than that, it's actually pretty damn clean in here. And I had ended up putting a screen in here a while ago. You know, it actually does my logo too when you turn it on. It's kind of cool. I don't know, some people like want to see that. Bum, dum, dum, dum. It's kind of cool, but I have a cooler one in the BMW now, so I don't know. I might be looking at getting a new one for this thing too. For the audio peeps, all I got is 112. It's like I think a JL 500-to-1 to it. So, I mean, you know, it bumps for what it is. It's nothing super crazy bass, but it gives me that full range of sound. You know, I listen to all kind of music, so kind of just, you need it. So, yeah. So a few of you are probably wondering how the hell I paid $300 for this truck. Well, when I did get it, the motor did have a gigantic hole in the block where the kid before me had, you know, shot his rod through it. But it was his first truck. He got it when he was 16, so I mean, he pretty much rode it out until he was like 21, 22 or something, and then that happened. And he didn't know what to do, and he just considered it an old truck, so he just got rid of it. Of course, me being me, I had a buddy of mine who has a shop not too far away from here, and he had an LS swaps. He had a couple of these just laying around in his shop, so he was like, dude, 500 bucks, I'll come drop it off your house. I said, say less. He came over, dropped it off, and I pretty much did an entire engine gasket refresh on this thing. I might have even done the rod bearings or something, I don't remember. But it's been running for like 3 years now, no problem, runs like a freaking top. I don't know, I can't complain. I haven't really had to do anything. I did change the alternator recently, that thing died on me. But other than that, this truck's been a really good truck to me, man. The transmission, I guess he said, was rebuilt a couple years before she had blown it up, so I'm still riding on that. It does shift kind of second, kind of hard sometimes, well, kind of all the time. But it's been consistent, honestly, since I've had the truck for this 3 years, so I can't complain. If anybody's kind of wondering what my tire size is, it's a 265/40 R22, obviously for the 22 rim, but it does rub a little bit. I'm considering going maybe like a 35 Pro tire or something, I don't know, but I have cut out quite a bit of the actual fender too. If you look up in here, in this metal part has all been cut out all the way across to the front here. I don't know if I can get the camera up in there to see it good enough, but this lip's been shaved back so it has all the clearance, and really it only rubs like on the plastic fender liner, I think on the inside over here when you make like just not sharp turns, but just slight turns where that corner of the wheel is the closest to there. So I mean, you know, it's not the worst. I don't notice it really unless I like hit something hard in the road, like a huge pothole, or like just don't take the entrance to some place correctly at the right angle, and you know what I mean. But mostly this thing in the front is the closest. For those of you who are wondering or don't have a lowered truck, it's that guy right there. It's kind of hard to see. Yeah, there we go. That guy right there in the front is only like, I don't know, 6 inches, maybe 7 inches from the ground. So, I mean, anything that's like sticking up, it hits. Future plans for the truck, definitely need to fix my roof. I had it wrapped, and then the wrap started doing funny stuff, peeling, bubbling, all that, so I took it off, but now I can see like kind of some surface rust starting on the roof. I really need to either paint this thing or just wrap the whole truck. I'm kind of indecisive about colors, and that's kind of a problem, but I think with the truck, if I'm gonna keep it, I think I'm gonna paint it, is what I've ultimately decided. And now I just need to decide the color so I can make it one and make it kind of legit. I did just have the 2 front windows re-tinted because the tint was just trash. Yep. Other than that, man, it's a good truck. It's not a slow truck, it's not a fast truck. I think eventually the goal is to put a 4L80 in it and put a fucking turbo on it. Why not? I don't think, like I said, I'm ever gonna get rid of it. I do kind of want to start towing some of my other cars, you know, so being I have the S13, that's definitely going to be a race car, and this thing I'd like to see some track days with before the S13 gets built. So I think I need, at a minimal, some helper airbags. That'll probably be one of my upcoming videos. Buy a helper airbag kit and put it on the back just so I can actually put some load on the rear and tow some shit. But yeah, other than that, guys, leave some comments, man. If you guys want any other questions answered, you know, I'm usually pretty good about answering everybody's questions, so hit me up. Peace.